Good day, everyone. Welcome to the third episode. Third episode of WADCast.
Second sentence.
Today's show will involve real life stuff. Be putting towards Siege, our guest today on that one. We'll be talking about current gaming news and problems and all sorts of stuff that may be coming up. Rumors, games release, all that jazz. And we'll also be talking about stream stuff, which involves certain information that has been released recently, and we will go towards the facts rather than the opinions. Today, obviously, joined by me, Prouter. Hello. Joined by my co-host, as always, Gamerthyrst.
Morning.
SevernSins. And our special guest for the week, AverageSiege.
Welcome, Siege.
Thank you. Good to see you.
We will be going through the IRL stuff, which brings us straight to Siege, our guest on this one.
Thank you for that introduction. For those of you that don't know, I'm AverageSiege. Lately, I've been doing more Nintendo-based gaming, playing Pokemon. Recently got back into Splatoon. And then you mentioned new game releases. I actually tried out Ninjala, which is a free-to-play Nintendo Switch game made by the same people that made Splatoon. So that's been fun.
Nice.
Are you looking forward to Pokemon Unite?
Of course. I've not played a MOBA, but this will be my first introduction into a MOBA via Pokemon. I know they said it's kind of like a bare bones MOBA, but I'm still ready to give it a shot. I give every Pokemon game at least one shot.
Nice. Do you have you changed your content in the last sort of 6 months? Because I feel like you were doing, as you said, you've gone to more Nintendo. Is that the route you're going down now more so than PC gaming and stuff like that, or are you still doing a mix?
Right now, it's more Nintendo based. I do a collab stream every Wednesday with Zephyr420. Lately, it's been Stardew Valley. We're talking about mixing that up. But yeah, I've realized going the more Nintendo route is better for my brand, if you want to say.
Nice. Have you seen an growth then in? I'll say numbers, but have you gotten more engagement more than anything else then since the Switch?
I would say a little bit. The Pokemon Shiny hunts are always a little bit slow, but the last couple streams I started playing Splatoon 2 again, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. The last stream actually had some interactions. Joji actually joined me for some games, so it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Can we appreciate Seven actually did a Switch pun?
Hey, I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay, I'm trying to be on the ball with these things.
I missed it.
Now, for the last episode we did, or it might have been the first episode we did, I asked the co-host as well as they asked me. So I'm going to bring the questions to you as well, Siege. So what was the reason you joined WAD in the first place?
The reason I joined WAD is I've always been close with Gamerthyrst, so we were talking a lot. Joji and I were actually making another group. We realized Thirst had a little bit better foundation here, so we talked to him and kind of brought the two groups together.
And the other question that we always ask is, what keeps you still here?
The interactions, a lot of great people. I'm glad that I'm able to help out when I can. I know I'm not always the most helpful, but I do what I can when I have the time. And it's good to see other people growing, helping them out.
For those who are not aware, Siege is one of our staff members currently in joining alongside me and Gamerthyrst, those interactions.
Yeah, so Siege helps us run our social media side of things, mainly Twitter, which we're working on getting more tweets out, I think. We kind of took a step back for a bit to evaluate what we can do better, and then we're going to get more in the way of tweets. And I think it's more just engaging with tweets rather than just posting a tweet, isn't it, Siege?
Yeah, it is for sure. Because if you get engaged, there's more chance to reach bigger audience.
I agree with that.
Have you two got any questions for Siege while we're here?
Yeah. You got any more pop vinyls?
Yeah, I got a lot. Just let me know when you want them.
For those that don't know, Siege helped set me up with some of my pop vinyls.
Chris going in with the heavy questions straight off the bat.
I'm still waiting for him to buy more. I got more of them sitting here.
I think, to be fair, like half of this shelf I probably got off of Siege. You probably recognise a few just from here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sold you that purple Batman too.
And the Joker.
And the Joker.
And the Poison Ivy. And the rest. Yeah, the question I have, so Siege, you mentioned your Wednesday streams with Zephyr. What other days are you currently scheduled to stream?
Currently, I'm scheduled to stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then I upload YouTube videos every Monday and Friday. So it keeps my schedule pretty full. Gives me just a couple days here and there to, relax. In the content world isn't much relaxation, and doing editing, things like that. So,
and for those of you that aren't aware, links will be down there somewhere. We'll get that in. I don't have any more particular questions directed specifically at you. Tom, Sev, you got anything? Or Siege, have you got any questions?
I don't have any questions. I'm just here to hang out with you guys.
I've got one because, strangely, I'm making a video based on content creation, which is going to be my next YouTube one. But one of the things I'd go into and talk about in that is how to diversify between YouTube and then how you incorporate that into Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So you've got your pillar content, which would be like YouTube stuff or podcast, if that's what you're doing. And then how do you turn some of those clips or the big hitting points of that video, if you're doing informational stuff, to draw people back to your YouTube channel if you do that stuff on Twitter and Instagram? Just as a thought between, if you do that. This might fall flat on its face, so this might get edited out very quickly.
It's an interesting thought. I know I actually heard recently that any video you were to put on Twitter, if you have a Facebook fan page, you should also post it there.
Yep.
I actually have only posted a couple videos on Facebook, but they were actually really well received if you tag them properly. So that was an interesting thing that I need to get back to. But yeah, like you said, hitting the big points, clips on Twitter, Instagram, those can help. I haven't seen as much help from Instagram as I have Twitter. I think it's because it's a little bit easier to throw links on Twitter, whether you reply or actually put it in the tweet. It's a little bit easier to link people back to your other stuff. And I would generally do the clip 1 or 2 days later.
Yeah. So
that you have the initial push on YouTube, and then a couple of days later you can bring another push in.
See, that's interesting, the way you said you get more on Twitter. See, for me, it's the other way around. I get more off Instagram than I do off Twitter, but that possibly might be because I'm more involved on Instagram than I am on Twitter overall. So that's probably a thing. And the other thing that I found interesting, what you said, was tagging on Facebook. I assume you mean hashtags on Facebook as well?
Yeah, you can do hashtags, and whenever you actually upload a video, you can put tags on it, almost like you can do tags on YouTube.
Meta tags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually, I want to follow up Siege's answer there. I found, in particular, as you guys know, I've been doing a Mass Effect playthrough on YouTube. It's kind of gone on the back burner. We're going back to work. But what I was doing is I was recording and I was uploading them. And then a week later, I would upload the video then to the Facebook page as well, with a link to the YouTube. And I found that actually that put a lot of content through, because people would view it on Facebook and then they'd click on the YouTube link and go through just to thumbs up it or whatever.
That's good.
So you were uploading the whole video also on Facebook?
Yeah, but I waited a week to do so. It was just for those of you that haven't seen it, I've got this video on YouTube. I'm going to upload it here in case you don't want to go to YouTube. But here's the link also if you do want to go to YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because there's people that go to Facebook for certain type of things. So even if they follow you on YouTube and on Facebook, if they see the same content, if they've seen it, they'll just gloss over it anyway. And then for those who aren't on YouTube, then we'll view it anyway. So I don't think it sort of matters overall if you post the same, like the long form video anyway.
Also the case that, let's say they're somewhere where Facebook will work on their mobile device, but YouTube's a little bit iffy because of the connection.
Yeah.
I found in particular that watching videos on Facebook while I'm on a train is absolutely fine. Try and load up YouTube and it's just not happening. So it's sort of like you can continue between platforms as well.
I think that's because the file size you use on YouTube is coincidentally bigger than it is on Facebook.
Compressed, yeah. The only thing I would say is it would be interesting to see the analytics, like if you were to upload like a minute worth of the video and then it says continued on YouTube or something to try to direct them more.
Yeah, that could be another thing to try. That's for sure.
Definitely. There is a
try to funnel that traffic.
There's a point for, especially if you're in the position where you can monetize on YouTube as well. Then there's a point in then condensing, like those, like we said before, like those main points into a short clip to funnel people into the YouTube to get the click-through rates going through that way. That is definitely one good thing.
So you were talking about expanding your content. Here's a question. Have you tried expanding to TikTok at all?
Yes.
Have you seen success with that?
Ish. It depends. I'm still going because TikTok's fairly sort of new, especially for me as well. It's about gauging when to post. Like time of day is very apparent, it seems, on TikTok, especially for me being in the UK. And I suppose, and anywhere I suppose where you are, time of day is important. So stuff tends to work better if I post between like midday and 4 p.m. overall. Whereas if I post later at night, it's really iffy if it goes or it doesn't go. And then how you present it on TikTok is vastly different to how I do it on Instagram and things. So with TikTok, it's all, a lot of the stuff is getting like if you're speaking, getting the graphical content like subtitles, if you will, on there, producing the video a little bit differently. I've done one where I'm pointing out the pros and cons of a gun, but literally everything's like big bold type with a coloured background on it, like good at range, good at this, bad at this. Those type of videos tend to do better than me just posting a clip, if you will, with nothing else on it. So yeah, TikTok's a bit new for me and it's hit and miss at the minute, but I'm getting there with it.
I tried it.
That's interesting.
I tried it also. I went more down the road of posting just clips. So when people clip something, I'd just post the clip. And then I posted Abby eating a lemon, and that got twice as many views. So
yeah, I don't see TikTok as a big gaming like clip platform. But I will say, whenever I did it early on, I was posting Fortnite clips, and I found the best time to post for me was at like 1 a.m.
Wow.
I had a couple Fortnite clips hit like a couple thousand views, nice. But
that's when all the kids are not able to sleep, but they're banned off their tech. Except their phones, of course.
I mean, I think there's a lot of discussion as well, you know, with TikTok and Instagram, how much you post on those platforms as well.
TikTok seems to be one that you need to post a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys sort of listen to people who do TikTok and bits and pieces a lot. So, like, the main one I watch and get a lot of information from is Gary V. I don't know if you've heard of Gary V. Or Gary Vaynerchuk.
I have.
Yeah. So he's one of these, like, he's got tons of people always asking him, you know, how do I get big on TikTok? How do I get big on this? What do I do? What do I do? He's like, make your content, post between like 5 and 10 pieces of content a day, and just do it. And it is sometimes, but it's a lot of repetition. And well, I think what a lot of people struggle with is like, how do I make 10 bits of content in one day? But that then comes back to, if you've got a YouTube video you've just done, like this hour-long podcast, whatever it is, for instance, we can probably get 15 bits of smaller content out of that to go on Instagram, Twitter, and that's literally how you do it.
I think the big issue is for people that this isn't their full-time job. They still have a full-time job, so they have less time to actually work on this extra content.
Yeah,
I feel that.
But obviously, I think as well, you've got it's about balance. Obviously, like he's talking about people who are doing it full-time, but if you can do 3 bits every day rather than 15, because obviously the time involved, I've been doing, there's days where I do, I'm at work, I come home, I'm knackered. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but most of the time I can get on the PC, I can edit 3 clips an hour. That's ready for the next day, done, dusted, and it's all good. Once you get into that motion of actually understanding what you're doing, then it does get a little
lot
easier.
of time management, scheduling, planning, things like that.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm working on. Not my strong suit.
I think we're all working on that one. But yeah, I mean, so I think and I think a lot of people as well get scared or get nervous about making content. They get
worried about the failure and not being well received.
That's it. And they're worried about like, what if this is not good enough? How do I make good content? And I think we can all agree, if you've been doing it long enough, the only way you get better at anything is by just keep doing it. You'll get better over time. Unfortunately, there's no quick fix. No one can tell you how to make good content. You'd only get better by making, I use the word bad content in the sense of, but you will improve over time. I've seen it with mine. It's, the way you record it, the lighting, the sound, look at the first podcast, for instance, where I forgot to turn everybody up.
As Siege said, it's just do it.
Yeah, you just got to keep on going and keep trying. And the other thing is as well, they'll say, "Oh, I haven't got this camera, that camera." I'll just unplug this. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody. Don't worry about if like your video's out of focus so much, if it's overexposed slightly. Get your content out, because you will improve over time. And
you got to start.
Yeah, you got to start. You can't wait for that perfect piece of content, because it's not there. It really isn't there. So if anyone's thinking about it, just Siege says, just do it.
Yes, yeah, Tom, when's Tom going to start streaming?
As I said to you in the past, mate, it's when my internet connection is decent enough. And unfortunately, no provider will give me a better content.
I just wanted to throw someone under the bus today.
Yeah, the only one that can provide streaming here.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
The interesting thing about seeing the improvement is I actually had my 2-year Twitch affiliate anniversary a couple weeks ago. And I actually went back and was looking at my early YouTube videos, because whenever I first started streaming, I was streaming on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So I was able to go back and see those early YouTube videos and how much has changed, and audio quality, just things like that. Especially since my first, whenever I first started streaming, my upload was only 3 megabytes. So it was rough.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, my upload is 0.9.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But I think
I get the hamster running, mate. He needs to run a bit faster. Get another one in there.
Maybe a gerbil.
We're trying to get my cats to do it, but one's really lazy.
That's our problem. Yeah. So Tom, back to you. What else did you have that you wanted to bring in?
I'm trying to think what we've gone from the past, just to go through.
I guess one for Siege. So Siege, this is directed again at you. So we will answer this, I think, in the first ever podcast we did. What made you want to start not just streaming but creating content?
So it's an interesting thing as well because I had an internship that I was working, and during my lunch, I would pull up YouTube, and I found a guy that was live streaming on YouTube. He had like 70 to 100 viewers playing PUBG, and I just looked at it and I was like, I could do that. Just sit, play games, which that's the perception you have at the beginning. Just sit, play games, and people watch. So a couple weeks later, actually, I talked to Lauren about it. And then a couple weeks later, I had a mic ordered and a webcam, and then I got started. So,
And now you're here today, bringing us lots of average streams.
I actually have a new motto. I don't have the merch on today, but it says anything but average.
Nice. I
That's
like
the new
that.
motto I'm using going
That
forward.
means you go change your name.
No, name stays though. See, you have to under promise and then over deliver.
It's good. It's a good line.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I think. Excuse me.
Right. Unless anyone's got any more real life questions,
No.
we can move on to the gaming section, which I think there's been quite a bit that's come up in this last week in terms of gaming wise. Anyone got anything else?
I'm good. We can go.
Good to go.
Yeah. Anything you want to ask us, Siege?
What made you guys decide to start this podcast? I'm sure it's to highlight some of the community members.
Guilty. That was my fault.
Yes. Tom
I
approached me.
came to Thirst 2-3 months ago, sorry, and I had come up with the idea of getting myself, who was a staff member, First, who was the leader of WAD, and Sin, because I knew of Sin's background in terms of editing or streaming and stuff like that. And since
So Sins is the workhorse.
he was a Twitch team member, and it was different levels of our community and giving out sort of knowledge to people what type of community we were like. So we weren't just a streaming community, we were a gaming community, we were a family, which I've said all along. I've said our community is a family. And I wanted to give that out to, more people. What we're like, how we treat each other, how we, at the end of the day, even though we're gamers, we still respect each other. We know we have real lives as well, and we will support you no matter what you're going through. So at the end of the day, right now in this world, we're going through something that's beyond imaginable. That's not even a word, but
Manageable.
Yeah. To extend really on what Tom said, we sat and had a chat about what we could do to try and spread some positivity in what for a lot of people is a negative time, and hence we have a podcast that we are now working on, and you're now part of Siege. You are our first special guest.
I'm so average that I have to be the first. I have to set the bar.
Well, we thought if we get Mr. Average in, then we can over-deliver later on.
It only goes up from here. That's all.
Well, that's the thing now, because you've been on this podcast, the rest of the guests now have to bring their A game. Obviously, one of the other big news from Microsoft this week, that based on us recording this, is Microsoft decided to give up on Mixer and join Facebook Gaming. To be honest, I'm going to say this, and it's probably a lot of you will probably agree with me. This is probably a long time coming in terms of Mixer. Just Mixer never got a. Trying to think of the easiest set of words. Foothold, leap off the ground, maybe something like that, where it never got the same standing as many other platforms. So YouTube streaming, Twitch streaming for Definite, and a few other smaller companies are around. Obviously, they did buy out a few of the top streamers, but again, that didn't help enough for them to keep this progress going.
See, I think they did the opposite of me, where they overpromised and then underdelivered.
Yes, definitely. Have you seen? Did you see the numbers? Have you seen like the numbers of that? Or seen anything about it? Obviously, because
not for a few months. I did look at it a few years back in March.
So obviously, yeah, when they brought Ninja out, they did get a little bit of an influx, but I think they only grew like 0.8% over the first 6 months, something like that. So really, it didn't have. I think what they were hoping was really they get Ninja, they get Shroud, everyone all of a sudden flocks over to Mixer, rather than, which to some degree, yes, it's really hard to like what's the word? Transition people from one platform to another, especially when they're already...
People get set in their ways, and it's hard to break them out of that.
Especially when they get deeply invested in a platform anyway. But on top of that, I don't think Mixer really made... There was no promotion to it. There was no thing to the wider audience to say, come here, leave those guys and come here. They just expected Ninja and Shroud and whoever else they got to basically do the...
That was their advertising.
Yeah, do the work. Which, to some point, the first week or so, it did. But then, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have been on Mixer at all, but I didn't like... The user UI was not the best. It was a bit weird laid out. Streaming
it felt a bit clunky to me, and some things weren't very self-explanatory. I hadn't been on it for a few months now, but
there was definitely more going on.
Yeah, I mean, they did some things right. They had, the lower latency streaming before Twitch had it, and so on and so forth. So they did some good things, but then it was like basically it's trying to get the viewer retention to go, and really it was like they had the discoverability. Obviously, if you was an Xbox user or on that side of it, because it does pop up on your Xbox if you've got an Xbox. But as if you're then streaming like on PC or from PlayStation or Mixer, then it's not as discoverable. But the biggest one really is obviously they've shipped everyone over to Facebook Gaming. I don't know if you've heard like what Facebook Gaming did to Ninja and Shroud. Not did,
no,
but what was... So obviously the monetary value side of it, Shroud's 10 million, Ninja was 30 million. According to...
Well, that's what they got from Microsoft.
Yeah.
The rumor is that Facebook offered them double that.
Yes. Have you watched the Devon Nash video?
Really?
Have you as well?
I did not watch the Devon Nash, but the rumor was Facebook offered them double, and they both turned it down.
They both turned it down simultaneously because the way their contract works is Mixer has got to stay in the realms of the contract. They have to give them a platform to stream on. If they turn down the Facebook offer, they've got no platform to stream on, which means Mixer has to pay them there and then. Wire transfer straight into the bank account.
Ouch.
So that money they offered the contract on?
Yeah, so the 30 million Ninja got straight into his bank account. Shroud got 10 million. It works out, if you do the math, that Ninja made £92,000 every day through his on Mixer.
Oh.
A day.
Jeez.
Yeah, so, and they go...
And now they can stream to any platform they want.
Yeah, they'll probably go back to Twitch, and they lose nothing in the terms of their branding. They actually win.
I will say it would be interesting if Ninja did go to YouTube, just because he has so many subscribers on YouTube.
20-odd million, 25 million, 20 million, something like that?
12 million, actually, but it's a lot.
Just check. I'm sure it's 20. I'm sure it's 20
I know.
something.
While Siege is checking that.
23.7 million.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's a lot of subscribers.
So, if he wants to get massive, if he wants to really like go stratospheric, he'll stream on. He'll go to YouTube. If it's more about the brand and all that type of stuff, he'll go back to Twitch.
Well, I don't know if he will though, because Twitch restricted a lot of what he could do.
They'll
but
they'll give it back because it's business. It's not personal. It's just business.
So it'll be interesting to see how it falls into place.
I mean, so we'll see after that. Is it the 22nd of July? We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
there.
that's the last day. That's when Mixer officially closes.
Yeah, so I don't know if they've got to wait till the 22nd. I assume they would have to. Just Mixer.
I don't know if they have to, because I know like King Gathalion was on Mixer. He's already streaming on Facebook.
Okay.
He's already made the transition. So,
yeah. So
I think it's for those that want to carry on and move with Mixer to Facebook. I think the smart move is to switch as soon as, so they've got time to prep before everyone moves over.
I think it's sorry, I'm butting in again.
So I was just gonna say at the moment you've got over 700 million people streaming games to Facebook Gaming.
Really?
To add Mixer on top. Yep. So yeah, on the actual, this is direct from the Mixer blog. They've got every month more than 700 million people play a game, watch a gaming video, or interact in a gaming group on Facebook for Facebook Gaming's creators.
Sorry.
So that's a lot of people already. How many of them are streamers, I don't know. There aren't any figures for that I can see. But it would be smart to move sooner rather than later when all of Mixer's other users are forced into moving or going to another platform.
I think it would make sense to continue to stream on Mixer for a little bit to promote that new site that you're going to go to. You have time to tell them, I'm going to be here, meet me there on this date.
Yeah.
I agree. I do agree. Do Mixer or Facebook have an exclusivity clause? Do we know?
From what I've read, there's some people saying there was a 90-day exclusivity, but there was a a Mixer partner in a Devon Nash stream that said he's a Mixer partner and there's no exclusivity. For him anyway. Maybe for some of the bigger ones there might be. But that depends on what. But yeah, there's two stories and only the Mixer partners will know, but I think it's not, if there isn't, that's better for them because like Siege said before, he used to stream to Twitch and to YouTube through some restream. So for those, if there's no exclusivity, then just go do the restreaming to reach as many people as possible. So you can stream to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch at the same time. And for those who are going to Facebook, again, I'm just quoting Devon Nash, so this is not my thoughts. He said, if it was them, he'd actually like start transitioning people now. So do an hour on Mixer, then say, right, I'm going live on Facebook. Come and join me. Get everybody over there, and do that for the next month to get people used to the platform and to the service. Every day, just do it, because you got the potential of losing people from Mixer going back to Twitch or going elsewhere. Because essentially, even though people say you're not starting from fresh, you basically are.
I've seen a lot of Twitch streamers getting upset that some of these Mixers partners are just being given partnership on Twitch.
I mean, it's one of those. If they've got, obviously, it's if you've got a constant, say, 200 viewers on Mixer, there's a possibility you want to bring that lot with you. So, I assume that within the first 2 weeks they'd probably hit the 30-day ruling anyway, and they'd be giving it anyway. So it's one of those. But
yeah, I agree. It's also a different case because it's not like you're the only one moving. Everybody has to move now.
Yeah. I think I can see why people would get upset, and personally, I probably would also. These people, they are doing really good on Mixer. They're getting their 200-300 viewers every stream average, what if they come to Twitch, they get offered a free partnership, and they're only hitting 5 viewers every stream because most of their viewers are just, I want a Twitch account. Because a lot of people that watch Mixer are over there because they don't want to watch Twitch.
I think really it depends on how Twitch are handling it. The thing is, we probably don't know. So if they go over to Twitch already and it's been a week, if they've hit those numbers, then and they've given it to them, fair enough. I don't think anyone can argue with that. I think it's just more the case of, as you say, I think people like to moan about stuff more than anything else.
That's very true.
And why has he got it? He's only been here 2 weeks, and I've been grinding 5 years, playing 3 AM Doki Doki Literature Club for 3 viewers. That's why you haven't. You know what I mean? It's just nothing wrong with Doki Doki Literature Club, by the way.
But on the other side of that same coin, I think it could be an inherent thing for Twitch to look at one day, hopefully, is actually partnership reviews. Like they might approve someone for hitting their 75 or whatever it is going to be plus, but what if they suddenly drop and they don't keep hitting those goals? That is something I think that's quite a big thing on streamer Twitter quite often.
Possibly.
Something that maybe people are getting upset by.
Maybe. I don't. I'd like. I suppose it's more of maybe if it does happen, if it drops really low, then maybe yeah. But if you're a good content creator and you did see a decline,
I think it also would depend on their numbers on other platforms as well, because whenever you apply for that Twitch partnership, they look at your reach and your numbers on other platforms as well. So if they're getting 6 viewers on Twitch, but they put up a video on YouTube and it gets 6,000 views, there's a little bit of wiggle room, I feel.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't know they looked at that, in fairness.
When you apply, there is a free type box that you can write in anything about any other platforms and reach you have.
Nice. I actually didn't know that.
I think myself and Siege, we've both applied. I know I've applied twice. You've applied once or twice, Siege?
Twice.
And that was in the days where lurk pages were quite big. And that's why we got denied, because not all of our viewers were actively chatting.
My second application was not from lurk pages. It was I was on the front page of Twitch.
Yes, and they didn't count your front page views.
They don't count front page views. So my stream averaged 200 viewers, but it doesn't count front page.
So what you're saying is your averages are below average?
Yes, it is. That's how I keep everything balanced.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, good luck to all of the Mixer streamers, wherever they go, because it's going to be difficult for them, whatever they choose to do.
Just to, one last note. Do you think, in this current streaming climate, do you think Twitch is still the place to be? Or do you think YouTube and Facebook are going to make some... More so YouTube than Facebook, but, do you think YouTube and Facebook are going to eat into that percentage?
I think Facebook recently have gained a lot in terms of content. YouTube's no really different than it used to be. A lot of people I've noticed lately, for YouTube wise as well, a lot of streamers are spending more time actually streaming on it rather than doing content videos. So I think either one has a very good foothold right now. If they get any decent people like Ninja, Trout, someone like that, it could go really well for them. But at the moment in time, looking around, I think Twitch has still got a massive overhaul compared to the either one.
Do you think I'll say YouTube for now, because obviously they picked up Courage, who was doing well on Mixer, on Twitch. But since he's moved to YouTube, he has gone mega, where he was getting like...
Yeah, he's seen an increase since he's gone to YouTube.
I think he was getting like 7,000 views on him on Twitch.
I noticed too that YouTube is promoting the live streams a little bit more. Like if you're watching a video on YouTube of a game, it'll promote a live stream of it in your suggested. So they're getting that discoverability a little bit easier than what Twitch has. And in the case of if Ninja were to go to YouTube and his 23 million subs, there would generally be an increase because he already has a foundation there.
I think as well, I think more so, I don't think people understand how big of a reach algorithm-wise YouTube has over, like, say, Twitch. People just used to Twitch. So I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. We were talking about this type of thing. She's like, "But I'm on Twitch. I've always been on Twitch. I don't know anything other than Twitch." And that type of thing. It's like, why should I? Why do I move? I was like, well, it's like that. If for instance, even if you manage to get to like a couple of thousand subscribers on YouTube, every time you go live and they watch a Call of Duty thing, you have got the potential to pop up on there. YouTube tells you what to watch. Generally you either go on YouTube to find something, or you go on the homepage and it tells you what you want to watch. It's really strange. It's hardly ever do I go on YouTube to watch something. I just say, "Oh, I'll watch that." I don't know. I didn't know I wanted to watch dogs surfing on a surfboard, but I do.
But YouTube knew. Yeah,
YouTube knew. So it is a bit like that. So I think if YouTube do it right, YouTube will definitely eat into that percentage. It's just
so my question is, have any of you considered streaming on another platform, maybe one day a week, to see how it goes?
I started streaming on YouTube originally. It didn't last. Granted, it didn't last long. Just because I really found the YouTube UI in the beginning it was just hard. It was hard work. It's a little bit better now. Apparently, a little bit better now. I have been looking into it, and before these guys said we were going to record this, I was going to do a stream on YouTube today. I was in the process of setting it all up, but we're doing this instead, so it hasn't happened. But I am seriously looking into it, especially because obviously now I'm doing more YouTube stuff. I'm gaining some tiny momentum in that as well. So I've got.
And then I feel like it helps too, because a follow on YouTube is a subscriber, which then if you hit that 1,000 mark, you can start monetizing. It helps the rest of your videos you're doing.
Yeah.
So I've also considered doing it maybe one day a week, see how it goes.
I've considered both Facebook gaming and YouTube actually before all of this mix of stuff. When I first furloughed, I looked at doing extra streams. Obviously, all of those went onto Twitch in the end, but I had a serious consideration. I sat down and I spoke with Kaylee about it for probably about 3 or 4 hours about doing my 2 daytime streams either to YouTube or Facebook, and I didn't in the end. Kind of regret not doing that, but definitely something I'm thinking about for the future.
I mean, just as a silly one, your Facebook page, Chris, is that your personal one, or have you got a Gamerthyrst one?
It's a Gamerthyrst Facebook page.
How many friends have you got?
How many friends have I got?
Or followers?
Millions. Pages have likes.
Millions.
I'm
kidding. Let me just bring it up on screen a sec so I can check, because I don't actually know off the top of my head. It's pretty bad, isn't it? I got 157 followers on there at the moment.
So the thing, obviously, again, it's very similar to YouTube. Every time you go live, that'll appear on those friends' Facebook pages.
Notifications, yeah.
Yeah, so notifications, and it'll appear on their feed as well.
Mm-hmm. So
you've got your reach instantly is 100 times better than, say, Twitch. If you know what I mean, because literally people have got notifications turned off on Twitch. Right. They don't know you go live until they come on and look at the sidebar.
And they have to look at the sidebar, whereas Facebook or YouTube, you can see a preview right in front of you.
Yep.
So your reach is thousands of times better already, which is why
I think my issue, which I think Siege will probably agree, is the fact that as an affiliate on Twitch, you can't multi-stream. And I think if I could multi-stream or use something like Restream, I would. But because we're affiliates, we can't.
Having done Restream in the past, I'd rather not do it now. because it stretches you too thin between the other platforms. Or if you're streaming on just Twitch or just YouTube, those viewers will have to go to that one. It makes it a little bit more focused.
I think if you're starting out and you're not affiliate, you can do the restream thing because then you can see what platform serves you best. Because in the beginning, it's all testing
That's
phases
what I did
anyway.
at the beginning.
Yeah, so I think if you did it that way, that'd be good. Or if you want to take a risk, you could stop your affiliate onboarding and really dive deep into the restream thing. But that's a risk. It depends.
That's a big risk.
I think it depends on how much revenue you generate each month. If you're not hitting the 100 a month frequently, then is it a risk? Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. So
Depends
it's
if you
definitely
like
It would depend, like you said, on that revenue.
Yeah.
If you're hitting it like once a year, then there's not much of a risk. But
yeah. Obviously, if you're getting like say 300 every month, maybe, which like some smaller creators are, then it depends then how much you rely on that money then again as well. If you do use it for say paying bills and rent and stuff, then it's a risk not worth taking at that point. But something definitely to look at. I know I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now.
I mean, I'm looking at posting content on other sites, but I don't know if I would switch my live content to other sites at the moment. Again, if something ends up happening and I get a lot more free time, I might look at doing additional live content on other sites, but it wouldn't replace Twitch for me at the moment.
Is that because you feel like you got the potential of losing something?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the main contender. Without diving too far into
Of course.
the personal side of what I make on Twitch, it would be noticeable if I suddenly didn't have the Twitch income also.
Fair enough.
Microsoft Dungeons, quite a popular game that's come out recently over the last couple of months. Their first DLC is to be released next week, along with some extra free content update. So please keep an eye on that. The creators of Crash Bandicoot have just released information that they're going to release the fourth game now. That is set at the end of the year, I believe. Don't know off the top of my head. I'm looking that up. Square Enix have announced that the games they were going to announce at E3 will be announced over July and August. So we'll let you know as soon as we know about what
Stay
games
tuned.
they are. That's about it, really, that's been announced at this moment. There isn't been...
Pokemon Unite! Pokemon Unite!
and Pokemon Snap.
And Pokemon Snap.
Who's
And
Who's
Snap was a
excited
big
for
one.
that?
don't forget also Pokemon Smile.
I'm definitely interested in Pokemon Snap, so I really enjoyed the original on the N64. Pokemon Unite, I've got to play it first to be able to make it a proper judgment, which anyone who's played any type of Pokemon, whether it's the actual Pokemon games on any of the consoles or whether it's a mobile game or anything like that, you've really got to give it a good amount of time of trying out before you make a judgment. Because recently I've been running around a few other content creators on Twitch watching their Pokemon streams, especially Shinies. I love watching the Pokemon Shiny runs. And there are so many people giving up this judgment of, oh, I'm not going to play this game because it's from this creator, or it's going to release this information, or this, that. And it's like, that doesn't work. Only
It was
because
like
they've created a bad game because of problems or other issues doesn't mean the company is going to all the time release bad games. It doesn't work like that.
I did like the Game Freak meme where they put a release incompleted game, sell rest as DLC, and then all of us that have played Pokemon since the beginning were just like, this is the first DLC Pokemon's had.
Yep. Precisely.
And honestly, I enjoyed the DLC. I think it was a nice change of pace.
It was, and I think
Rather
they did
than
it really well.
releasing a new game that just added that little bit of extra content as a whole new game where you have to start over another, full price game. You got half the price for the same amount of content.
But that was always the Pokemon sort of sale plan, wasn't it? You had the 2 games, and then you had the middle game. So you had like, I'm going to use like Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald as an example. You had Sapphire and Ruby, and then half a year later, Emerald would come out, and Emerald had so much more to do. And then you had
the
Diamond.
only change with that was once they hit Black and White, they did Black and White 2.
Yeah, they did secondary games instead of the third middle
Moon,
game.
They did secondary ones as well.
See,
And the
I
secondary
think,
ones for Sun and Moon were hardly different until you got to the post game.
It's like the same
Yeah.
of the originals. They had red, blue, and yellow, and then they released Fire Red and Leaf Green.
yes, they
Where
did the
it was
remakes.
same game, but it had just the tiniest bit of extra content at the end.
Well, that
of the
one was
game.
a remake because it was a different console,
Different platform.
handheld. Yeah, we're talking like how they did Silver and Gold and then Crystal. It was the same
So-
platform, just a little bit extra content.
So
The whole new
effectively,
game.
you paid for silver, or you paid for gold, or if you're a completionist, you paid for both, so you could trade with yourself. And then, so that's let's say, I don't know what they were back in the day. A new game now, you look at like Pokemon now, you pay £50. There's your game. But instead of paying an extra £50 for a rehash of the exact same game with a little bit more on the end, we're paying just for the DLC, and that I think is what Siege is meaning. It's nicer that we're adding it onto our existing game, and I kind of hope with the remakes they may do something similar. I'm not sure if they will. I had a long chat with a couple of friends that do play Pokemon quite a bit as well, and they're hoping that the remakes are done in the Let's Go format. I don't know if they will or not.
I
There's
think they will, but
No, I don't.
ups and
think it
downs of
will.
that.
I think it was a test. See how it would.
they said
be.
initially they didn't plan on making a second Let's Go. That's
Hey,
what they said initially.
My only issue with not making secondary Let's Go's is the fact that I can only transfer Gen 1 from Pokemon Go.
Well, they're supposed to add the Pokemon Go integration to Pokemon Home. That's something we're still waiting on, which everybody thought we were going to get in those 2 Pokemon Presents, but again, they ignored it. So,
Insert soon.tm.
mhm.
Nice.
So that's been said. Only other. So this was always an interesting one. So loads of people wanted to play it, and it keeps being delayed. And that's Cyberpunk 2077. Now this was due release for October. What
Has
time?
it been delayed again?
Yep.
Delayed again.
It's November now, I know.
Oh, okay. Not that bad then.
November 17th, I think it is.
But yeah, so apparently there's been a few delays in the gameplay or something like that. I was reading the other day. Yeah, it's been delayed.
It's the post-production stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
Because I know a few YouTubers have been playing that recently, and they've been talking about
They
it.
did put out like a little trial thing to let some people play. I think that was in the last week or so that they put that out.
Yeah, because Alana Pierce, is that her name?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
her
she's-
tweeting about playing it.
Yeah, she's been talking about it.
I did see her say that she wished she was still playing it, so I don't know if they gave them like 2-3 hours worth of gameplay and that was it, or how they controlled it. But
So now it's looking like it's coming after the release of the new generation consoles. Then?
Or alongside, possibly.
I think it's going to be like just before, because I feel like the new generation consoles will come out like late November. And this will be mid-November, so it'll be just before. but I don't know how they're going to handle. I haven't heard if they're going to let you play it on the new consoles if you bought it on the old ones, or how they're going to handle that.
I haven't heard about. I don't know about PlayStation. I haven't heard about this on the Xbox, but I know the Xbox does have a feature where if you buy it on Xbox One, you can. Yeah. You'll automatically be able to play it on the Xbox One.
Did you download?
No, it directly transfers over.
Yeah.
Nice.
I assume if you're digitally downloading, not physical copy. But I think even if you're physical copy, you should be able to do it as well.
Well, I know you can play the Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One, even if you have the physical copies. So,
yeah, but I mean, it's more like all the progress you've done, everything else will automatically transfer. So even if you say you get the Xbox One, the new Xbox after Christmas, and you've already got Cyberpunk, you can then put it onto the new console, and you don't lose any gameplay. You haven't got to start again or anything like that, which is a nice feature to have as well.
Yeah,
but I don't know about that one yet. Right, we've got 10 minutes. Need to push this.
I'm guessing you're cutting that bit out.
Cutting what bit out?
I'm not going there.
Oh, that bit.
I've got one thing I want to talk about, and I think Tom's got one thing as well.
I was going to quickly say about, which I said it in Discord the other day. Obviously, last podcast I was saying I was playing through Control, the game, and I said that I had started again and gone through. I actually then managed to finish it literally 2 days after we spoke on the last podcast.
Nice.
Loved it. Absolutely enjoyed it. The new DLC came out on Wednesday, the 25th. So from recording of this, it was a couple of days ago for us. Again, that content was really nice. It gave another different concept to the game. Very short, but we knew it was going to be very short. There's another expansion end of the year for this, but it's just a fun game to play through, so I recommend it, and that's all I really need to say on that. So go out and play it if you want to play. I know First did want to try it at some point when he gets a chance. So I'll leave the rest to you.
So moving on from that, it's similarly games related, but it's more community related also. So one of the staff members of Without Dark Gaming has organised a Fortnite tournament that's coming up, a duos ground game Fortnite tournament. The date that we've set so far, preliminary date, is 26th of July, which is a Sunday. And it's going to be evening time for Ant, so that's 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. And I'm just going to do the Google magic of going 10 p.m. AEST to.
It's also on the WAD Twitter account.
It is, we're in BST over here in the UK at the moment. So that will be 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Siege, you are.
I actually think whenever I talk to Ant about that, he's delaying it a little bit so that it's a better time for the US. Because if it's 1 a.m. for you,
1
that's
1 p.m.
for me.
1
1 p.m. for you is 6 a.m. for me. So,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
I think he was going to delay it like 2 hours.
That is obviously, we've got the date set. Other things subject to change. But if you are interested in that, hop into the Discord. Might have changed since we've recorded this, because obviously we've got to get the editing and stuff out. Hop into the Discord, join the Fortnite channel, and hit Ant up for some information. But we're looking forward to it as our first in-community tournament, really.
We'll post updates on the Twitter account as well.
Yeah. So Siege and I will get something out. Even Tom down there is re-downloading it, right? Right, Tom? Gonna play Fortnite?
It's not going to work.
I mean, I did also hear rumours that Seven might take a break from Call of Duty, but that's just rumours.
I do have Fortnite on my console.
Ooh, it's all coming out now.
Do
you have it on there?
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
And it was like...
Nudge, nudge.
No. When you say ground, what does...
No building.
No building. I thought it did, but...
No building, just shooting.
We've been practicing a little bit during the week. So myself, Ant, Preble, and Dave the Cow, and also Merlin, I think, as well, came in for a couple. We did some practice runs, and we've agreed that sort of like building for loot before because we've got like a no fighting in the first few circles rule, that like standard like scrim rules, I suppose. And we found that all of the balloons were dropping on top of mountains that you couldn't walk up. So we have like we were doing some more tests to see how often that happens, and there may be like a build to loot only in the first couple. Like the first couple of circles before we get to fight phase. And that's all going to be worked out and posted properly on Twitter. But yeah, if people are interested,
So
let us know.
You can't crank those 90s, baby.
No building a
That's why
motel.
they said it's going to be a more casual player-based tournament, not as sweaty.
That's ready.
Yeah, right. That's all First can do.
I can't build, to be fair.
I
I can build a box, but that's it.
I like sweaty, though. I am sweaty.
I'm a little bit. It's kind of warm.
Based on the facts that we know, is Dr. Disrespect got banned from Twitch
As of recording this, that's what we know anyway.
as of recording, which is the 28th, just so everyone's aware. So we got a date there.
So
Any facts other than that, we do not know, and we're not going to speculate anything on.
at the moment, all we have is I don't know if you guys have. There was a clip that circulated of the end of his stream. The whole kind of shift of his stream, but the whole, I don't know how to say it really. The whole,
His demeanor. Yeah.
yeah, it all shifted towards the end of his stream, and it was a little bit of an emotional end to his stream as well, I feel. Whether or not that's a sign of anything, again, we're not going to speculate, but we hope that whatever has happened.
Ending too.
Yeah, we hope that anything that has happened does come out in the proverbial wash, and best of luck to whoever needs it, I suppose. Other than that, obviously, to further the news, some of you may have heard that Method has also had some similar issues. They've had a couple of people leave, and they've dropped a bunch of sponsors. And again, we don't know all of the details, but from what we do understand, there are legal reasons we can't discuss it, because we don't know all of the details, and there are ongoing investigations. But it's pretty big news right now. There's some really big things happening in the gaming world there.
Another one that was banned that affects Twitch a lot is Bless RNG was removed, so his global emote has also been removed.
It's quite big.
That one I didn't know of.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that happened the other day as well.
Nice.
That was in the first wave of Twitch bans they put out.
Yeah, so there's been a lot. I mean, there is a lot of people speculating around DMCA cancel culture and all that kind of stuff, but we don't want to speculate because we don't know. And just good luck to the guys in whatever happens next. And yeah, obviously we're going to keep streaming the best we can too.
That's it.
Yeah. Unless you guys have got anything else.
I've just got one more thing, and I think it's going to be a popular topic because it's staring us right in the faces. What's with the hair, Chris?
Well,
You said something about it being popular.
I am popular. Hello, you guys are all here, aren't you? No, the hair. So basically,
He lost a
did
bet.
I not have? I didn't have the hair in it.
Kaylee or something.
No, it was actually my choice. I didn't have blue hair in the last recording, did I?
No, you didn't.
No,
No, I think
because
I did it
you
the
had
day
your hair
after.
Originally, it didn't last.
Yeah, so basically the story is I wanted to dye my hair blue for quite a while, and with the whole fact that I was furloughed and we weren't seeing anyone, we weren't going out, and obviously the whole self-confidence thing didn't matter because I wasn't seeing anyone. I was like, oh, sod it, I'll do it. It'll be great. And then work were like, can you come back to work? So then I was like, oh, great. So I had like the temp stuff in, which only lasted a few days, and I really liked it. So Kaylee just turned around and was like, why don't you just do it properly? And I was like, okay, then let's do it. And she basically, after we recorded our last session, the day after, in fact, she's like, right, we're going to bleach your hair. I looked like Eminem for a little bit, and then she bleached it. After she bleached it, she dyed it blue, and that kind of it's blue now, guys. I don't know. Might even be open to color suggestions if anyone has any.
Said nobody would see it, but yet he streams on Twitch.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's different. It's different. Like I wouldn't be going into the office, or I wouldn't be going to hang out with people IRL. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you guys might feel this too, but I feel like I'm more confident behind the screen than I am IRL sometimes.
So he's fake behind the camera.
Wow,
this
that is not what I said. Damn Siege. No, you know what I mean though, don't you? Like I don't even know how to explain it.
You have that barrier, that safe space. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, the stream is a safe space. Community is a safe space. Whereas the train is not a safe space, people.
Whereas I don't care. I've got a man bun, for God's sake. I just don't care.
I will say, I don't know, Siege, if you've hopped into the Pokemon streams recently, but we're all rocking our man buns in appreciation of yours.
Thanks.
Obviously, let's go back again. So first, when do you stream?
Same as always, we're going for Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and obviously every other Friday. So as of recording this, the next Friday won't be a stream, but obviously when you watch it, it might not be. Last Friday, I had my dad on stream, which was pretty exciting. For those of you that caught it, he enjoyed it a lot.
Thirst. Nice.
Yeah, Daddy Thirst was on the stream, and he was sat right here. I actually had to move my camera for that. It was a bit awkward, but that was all good. So, as ever, Tuesday is always Minecraft, Thursday is always Pokemon raids. Sunday, we're sort of switching away from just Animal Crossing, and we're doing like an hour of Animal Crossing and then 2 hours of something else. Probably Minecraft Dungeons, especially with new DLC coming out. And then when it comes out, Pokemon Unite, because we're all a bit hyped for that. And yeah, that's my ones. Let's go at 7.
Again, every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 PM. Always the same format. Call of Duty all the way. Shoot, bang, bang, pew, pew. We actually got some updates this coming week, and I think the week after we've got another mid-season update. So we're going to get some new guns and some new characters and stuff. So exciting times. Get to play around with snipers in the next update, so that's going to be fun. Because I'm bad with snipers, so it's always a laugh. Yeah, so I've been rocking the face paint again lately as well. So I don't know if you've seen that. It's always fun.
Yeah, we did.
Been rocking the face paint, so it wasn't fun the other night when it was like 31 degrees in this room with all the lights, monitors, and Xbox going. Man, I was hot. I was actually listening.
We were complimenting whether we were going to do it during the podcast or not, but we chose against it.
It was it was warm, but yeah. Luckily, it's all nice and cool now, so it's fine. On that note, Joe did say to me, he's like, "Shall we get you a fan for the room because it's warm?" I was like, "No, it'll be fine." Sweat. Yeah, it's all good fun, but yeah, always the same time. So lots of fun to be had and taking the mick out of me, and it's all good fun. CG.
Yeah, so my times are not the same, but the days stay the same. Tuesdays I start at 7:30. That's Eastern US. Wednesdays are 6:30 Eastern US, and Saturdays are 8:30 Eastern US. Lately, my Tuesday, Saturdays are heavily Pokemon. I'm looking at trying out some Luigi's Mansion 3 because I haven't played that yet. And then I've been mixing in some Splatoon. And then Wednesdays are always my co-streams with Zephyr 420. We've been playing Stardew Valley. We're looking at maybe mixing in some Escape from Tarkov as well, since he is a Sherpa for Tarkov. So basically, he's one of the guides for you. And I've been playing a ton of Escape from Tarkov off stream. So,
nice. Big to see it.
Awesome.
And
so, as always, guys, you will find each of these guys' information all down the description below. So always make sure you have a look. If you go and follow them, go and watch them. They are great content to watch. And as always, guys, it has been a pleasure. See you next time.
And thank you, Siege, for joining.
Thanks, Siege.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Fun having you along. Maybe we'll see you again at some point.
Yes.
In here.
Maybe.
Obviously, elsewhere too, but...
We will. No, it's fine. We got to do it. Okay.
Cool.
See you all soon.